All right, so today we are going to do a quick Ashtanga class. This will be the start of the primary series. So we'll go through the standing sequences and do a little bit of the seated postures as well. If you are unfamiliar with the sun salutations, definitely go back and look at the Surya Namaskara A and Surya Namaskara B videos so you can break those down. So once you're comfortable doing that, then you can start to move on and learn the standing postures. So we're just going to start at the top of the mat. And we'll take the Ashtanga Yoga opening mantra. So if you're unfamiliar with it, you can just take Om with me. So taking a couple breaths to settle in, floating the eyes closed. Inhale for Om. Om. Vande Gurunam Charanarvinde Sandara Shita Svatma Sukha Vabode Nishreyase Jangalikayamane Samsara Hala Hala Mohashantye Abahu Purushakaram Shankachakrasi Darinam Sahasra Shirasam Shvetam Pranamami Patanjalim. Om. Samastitihi. Surya Namaskara A. We'll just do 3 rounds of each today. So normally if you have more time, you can take 5. But today for this quick class, we'll just do 3. So Ekam inhale, reach the arms up, look up. Doi exhale, bend and fold forward. Trini inhale, lift your head. Chatwari exhale, step back and lower down for Chaturanga Dandasana. Pancha inhale, upward facing dog. Shat exhale, downward facing dog. Looking back toward your belly button. Pressing the backs of the fingers into the mat. Bringing the weight into the hips. And finding your breath. So breathing in, nice and loud and strong through the nose. And then out through the nose. Sapta inhale, step or jump, feet together, lift the head. Ashta exhale, head down. Now inhale, reach your arms up. And Samasthiti, hands next to the side. Second round, Ekam inhale, reach up, look up. Doi exhale, Uttanasana. Trini inhale, lift the head. Chatwari exhale, step or float back, Chaturanga. Pancha inhale, up dog. Shat exhale, downward facing dog. 5 breaths. Sapta inhale, step or jump forward. Ashta exhale, head down. Loa inhale, lift your arms up. Samastitihi. Last one, Ekam inhale. Doi exhale. Trini 3 inhale. Chatwari exhale, Chaturanga. Pancha inhale. Shat exhale. 5 breaths. Sapta, inhale. Jump. Ashtanga, exhale, Uttanasana. Now inhale, 9, lift your arms up, look up. And then Samasthiti. And Surya Namaskara B, Ekam, inhale, Utkatasana. Dvaya, exhale, bend and fold. Trini, inhale, lift the head. Chatwari, exhale, Chaturanga. Pancha, inhale, upward facing dog. Shat, exhale, downward facing dog. Stepping your right foot forward, back heel down. Inhale, come up, Virabhadrasana A. And then exhale, come down. Step the front foot back. Chaturanga Dandasana, shoulders forward, halfway down. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. And grounding the back heel down, stepping your left foot forward. Inhale, come up, warrior one. Exhale, Chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. 5 breaths. Panchadasha, inhale, bend the knees, step or jump, lift the head. Shodasha, exhale, bend and fold. Bend your knees, Utkatasana. Saptadasha, and then stand up. Samasthiti. Good, second round. Ekam, inhale, bend the knees, reach up. Dvaya, exhale, bend and fold. Trini, inhale, lift the head. Chatwari, exhale, Chaturanga. Pancha, inhale, upward dog. Shat, exhale, downward facing dog. Sapta, inhale, right foot forward, 1 breath. Ashtal, exhale, Chaturanga. Now inhale, upward facing dog. Dasha, exhale, downward facing dog. Ekadasha, inhale, left side, warrior one. Dwadasha, exhale, Chaturanga. Look at your nose, keep the head lifted. Pancha, inhale, exhale, downward facing dog. 5 breaths. Panchadasha, inhale, bend the knees. Jump forward, lift the head. Exhale, bend and fold. Udgatasana, bend the knees, lift the arms up. Stand up, Samasthiti. Final round, Ekam, inhale, bend the knees, reach up. Dvaya, exhale, bend and fold. Trini, inhale, lift your head. Chatwari, exhale, Chaturanga. Pancha, inhale, upward facing dog. Shat, exhale, downward facing dog. Sapta, inhale, right foot forward. Ashto, exhale, Chaturanga. Nawa, inhale, up dog. Dasha, exhale, downward dog. Ekadasha, inhale, left side. Dwadasha, exhale, Chaturanga. Trayodasha, inhale, upward facing dog. Chaturdasha, exhale, downward facing dog. 5 breaths. Panchadasha, inhale, jump forward. Shodasha, exhale, head down. Bend your knees, lift the arms up. Samasthiti. Okay, Padangustasana, Padahastasana. Ekam, inhale, jump the feet apart. Reach down with your first 2 fingers. Wrap your first 2 fingers around the big toes with the palms facing in. Lengthen out, so suck your belly in as much as you can. Lift the head, take a deep inhale here, still looking at the nose. Exhale, bend your elbows, fold forward. You can bend the knees here if you need to, but just make sure you're relaxing the head down, okay? No strain in the neck. If you can, attach your chest to your thighs, bend your elbows. Try not to take your elbows out too wide. You can tuck them in a little bit here, relaxing the shoulders away from the ears and pulling yourself down with your fingers. So really engaging your core here, lifting in the pelvic floor to get lower. 5 breaths. Padahastasana. So inhale, lengthen the spine. Exhale, step on your hands. Take your toes all the way up to where your wrist creases are. So I'm going to be able to touch my watch with my toes. So if you have a bracelet on, you should be able to touch with the bracelet. So try not to stop right here. Go as far down as you can. You take another breath in, and then exhale, bend the elbows, fold forward. Same thing here. Inhale, lift the head, straighten the arms. Exhale, bring your hands into your waist. Inhale, stand up. Exhale, step or jump the feet together, Samasthiti. Utthita Trikonasana, A and B. So A, come on the first step, you're gonna step your right foot out, or you can jump like me. Arms come out to a T. Due, exhale, pivot the left foot in and the right foot directly facing forward. Now try to make sure that your left hip stays directly on top of your right hip. So you don't want to move your hips to square forward. Keep them open here, really engaging your belly. Reach forward as much as you can. Now you can either just take your palm facing forward in front of your shin, or you can reach all the way down. If that's in your practice, you can grab the big toes here. And then trying to make sure that this top hand, the left hand, is right over the left shoulder, which is right over the right shoulder and the right wrist. So one wrist, so one line here. And then pull up, so engage your core. So your toes going down here, the toes grounding down, and then the fingers pulling up. So there's this kind of double action that's happening. So we're really, really trying to lift here instead of just dumping down here. And we're not just holding ourselves up here. So really, really lifting. And then gazing up, Hasta Drishti, gazing up toward your hand for 5 breaths. Trini, inhale, lift yourself up, arms stay out strong and straight. And then exhale, Chaturanga, pivot your feet, reach forward, same thing here, we'll take the left side. So grabbing that big toe and then looking up. 5 breaths. Inhale, take yourself back up. Now exhale, we'll go to B. So we have our revolved triangle. So taking the left toes in and the right toes out, take your hips and square them to the back of your mat. So really try to pull this left hip forward. And at the same time, reach forward as much as you can. Now you might just need to put your fingertips on the ground here. Okay, a slight bend in the knee might need to happen for your practice, and that's okay. So whatever you can take there. Or if it's comfortable for you, take the left hand so that the left pinky and the right toe are right next to each other. Pressing the palm down, then rotate the chest open. So at the same time, you're trying to square your hips and open the chest. And then reaching this opposite arm up, so right hand lifts up, and then looking up. 5 breaths. Trying to have equal weight in both of your feet. Inhale, lift up. Pivot around. Utthita Trikonasana B. Other side. So reaching the right hand down. Again, it's okay if you're out here. Maybe eventually you'll work to get the hand on the other side of the foot. Pressing your hand down, rotating the hips to be squared and the chest lifts for 5 breaths. Good. Inhale, come up, face center, arms out, and then exhale, step or jump forward, Samasthiti. Okay, so Parshvakonasana A and B. Ekam inhale, step the right foot out, arms to a T, same thing here. This time you're gonna try to widen your feet a little bit, almost like you're doing a warrior two. Pivot your left toes in and your right toes out, and then bend your front knee so it comes right over the front ankle. So this thigh is gonna come almost parallel to the ground. If you can get it parallel to the ground, that's great. Okay, if not, if it's a little bit up, that's fine, but just start to bend the knee here, and then watch that the knee doesn't come in, just open it over your ankle. Okay, from here, you can take your forearm to your thigh and see how that feels. If that feels okay, then you can reach your left hand up and over your head, rotate the chest open, and try to look toward the palm. Okay, if that feels great for you, bend the knee more, take your right hand onto the outside of the right foot, reach forward, and then same thing, rotating your chest open. See if you can look at your hand here, Hasta Drishti. So trying not to lean into the thigh, so don't put too much weight on that hand there. You're really holding yourself up with your feet, engaging the belly. Let's take 3 more here. 3, 2, and 1. Use your feet to lift up. Inhale, pivot the feet. Exhale, other side. So bending that front knee over the front ankle. The forearm can come down if that's in your practice, or you can come all the way to the ground. So trying to take this knee and press it out. So you want to really connect it to right underneath the armpit. And then reaching the right hand forward, rotating the chest open, looking at your hand for 5. Inhale, come up, and then we'll take B. So pivot your feet here. Okay, we're gonna start by taking your left knee down here. So we're almost in this lunge position, but it's a little bit wider than just a regular lunge. Take your left hand to the sky, and then just rotate over. Okay, so see how this feels. Connect your elbow onto the outside of the right thigh. Take the hands together, and just find a twisted lunge here. Now this might be enough for you today. Or if you want to take it a little bit further, you can try to take your hand onto the outside of the foot. Okay, so I'm really rotating my chest open here. Okay, so either way, you can stop here or you can take the hand down. Okay, if the hand is down, you can go a little bit further, reaching your knee up, so tucking the toes, lifting the knee, and then reaching your top arm up and over. It'll be easier to see on the other side. And then if that feels fine, then eventually we'll do it by taking the heel down and then rotating without taking your knee onto the ground. So 5 breaths here. Your revolved side angle. We'll just do 3 more. 3, 2, and 1. Okay, inhale, come up. Face the center, pivot the feet. Same thing on this side. So taking the knee down, lifting up in the rib cage, exhale, twist as much as you can. So see if you can keep the rib cage lifted from your thigh. You don't want to collapse here. So just keep twisting as much as you can. Again, if it feels good, you might be able to take your hand down or even stretch the back knee up and reach the hand forward. And then if that feels fine, you can take the heel down. Maybe try to do it from standing like this. And now I'm trying to keep my upper arm behind my shin. If it starts to go in front of the shin, just come back to the twist and try to do it like this. Okay, so 5 breaths here. We'll just take 3 more. 3, 2, and 1. Inhale, come up, facing center. Exhale, step or jump, Samasthiti. Hey, Prasarita Padottanasana, A, B, C, and D. So inhale, jump the feet apart, hands to the hips. Exhale, folding forward, take the hands onto the mat, spread the fingers wide. Inhale, lengthen out. Exhale, bend your elbows, walk your hands underneath the feet, and try your best to press your head down toward the ground. Toes facing forward, try not to pigeon toe too much, making sure that the feet aren't open, so that the toes aren't open. After 5 breaths, inhale, lengthen, straighten the arms. Exhale, take the hands onto your waist. Inhale, stand up. Exhale, here. Inhale, stretch your hands out. Exhale, hands onto the hips. Inhale, lengthen out. Exhale, bend and fold forward, engaging your belly and your pelvic floor. So lifting up, engaging your pelvic floor, squeezing the belly up and in. Trying to get your head right where it was before. Hands can stay on the waist. Inhale, slowly coming up. Exhale there. Inhale, stretch the arms out. Exhale for C, interlace the fingers behind the back. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, come forward. Now, if you need to spread your arms apart, you can. If you need to bend the elbows a little bit, you can here. If you can stretch the hands all the way to the floor. We'll hold here for 5. 4. 3. 2. 1. Inhale, come up. Exhale, hands on the waist. Good. Last one. Inhale, reach down for D. Grab the big toes with the first 2 fingers together. Inhale, lengthen the spine. Exhale, bend the elbows and fold. So still trying to focus on your nose drishti, so just a soft gaze toward the nose. And then the gaze stays at the nose as you inhale, straighten the legs, head lifts. Exhale, hands into the waist. Inhale, stand up. Exhale, step or jump forward, Samasthiti. Good. So, Parsvottanasana, next one, pyramid pose. So, if this is okay for your practice, you can reach your hands up the back of the rib cage, press your palms together. Okay, if that feels fine. If that doesn't feel okay, what I want you to do is take the thumbs together. So take your hands like this, so the knuckles come together. You're trying to lift your hands up as high as you can, and then relax your shoulders down. Okay, try to send your tailbone down as well, and then rotate the thumbs down here. So it's okay if you don't want to come into this variation. Keep your fingers bent, but try to rotate the thumbs down so you have the same rotation in your wrist. Okay, so we'll do that all simultaneously, stepping the right foot back and then pivoting around to face the back of your mat. So I'm trying to bring my left hip forward and pull my right hip back, taking an inhale here, and then exhale, lifting up and then folding forward over my right leg. Now you can either just relax the head down here. If it's too much for you to look forward, that's okay to relax the head down. That's fine. Or if it feels good, taking the chin to the shin and looking toward your feet. 5 breaths. Inhale, lift yourself up. Exhale, pivot around. Right foot in. left foot forward. So eventually this foot is gonna come out a little bit further, but just for today, move it in as much as you need to, okay? You might have different, if you have a knee injury or something, the foot wants to come in a little bit more. Okay, so try not to pull in the knee too much, taking your right hip forward, inhaling here, and then exhaling other side. 5 breaths. Inhale, stand up, open the arms. Exhale, Samasthiti. Okay, so now we have the first 2 balancing postures of the primary series. So normally we would do it facing forward, but I'm just gonna face you so that you can see me better. So the first one is Utthita Hasta Padangusthasana. So ideally your left hand will come to your hip and you'll right away just grab your big toe. Okay, if that's inaccessible for you, that's fine. You can do this with the knee. You can hold the knee the whole time for the whole sequence. Okay, at the end we'll straighten it out. Or you can try to keep the knee bent. Grab your foot from the outside rather than the inside so that the hip rotation is in rather than out. So see if you can lift your knee up as high as you can, reach forward and grab the big toes. Okay, so either way is fine. I'm gonna call it out in the way that it's done traditionally, but if you need to modify, go ahead. Okay, so on the inhale, reach for the big toe. And then exhale, bend and fold forward. So I'm trying to point and flex the toe at the same time, looking towards my feet. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Inhale, lift the chest. Okay, so only folding forward if you feel comfortable. And then exhale, we'll open the leg to the side. So if you need to grab the knee here, you can. Lift the foot up a little bit so you can open the hip better. And then we'll take Parshva, so slowly looking over your left shoulder. Okay, it's the same action as Trikonasana. So I'm trying to push my toes out, but pull up at the same time. And then trying to push the foot out like I'm opening a door. After 5 breaths there, inhale, come back center. Exhale, bend the elbow and fold. Inhale, lengthen out. Exhale, point the toe, hold it here. Look at the foot. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Relax. Other side. So inhale. Again, knees are fine. Bending here, just working on balance, that's great. Okay, if you feel good, reach for the toe. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, open the leg to the side. Same thing, a little bit of a lift. Trying to keep the hips even, but pushing the leg out. And then looking over the right shoulder when it feels good. Really engaging belly here. Inhale, come back center. Exhale, bend and fold. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, if you had the knee, you can straighten the foot out here too. Even if it's low, that's fine. 5 breaths. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good. And then coming back to the front of the mat, Samasthiti. And so the next posture also is done toward the front of the mat, but I'll come face you guys to show you. So we have Ardha Baddha Padmottanasana. So it's a half-bound lotus, folding forward. So if you have a knee injury or you just are not comfortable practicing your lotus, you can do a few things here. You can either just take a tree pose and hold here for 5 breaths. You can try to hold your foot up in a half lotus with the left hand and just take the right hand behind the back and grab the elbow. You can hold this here, hold here for 5 breaths. Or if your lotus is comfortable, trying to lift the knee up as high as you can first. Taking your right hand behind your back, you'll slowly reach for your big toes. If you can get the bind here, if you can get your big toes, try not to push the knee down right away. The knee can come with you. So lengthening in, and then exhale, slowly folding forward, trying to take your left hand down to the mat. And eventually, you'll get the hand really close to your foot, maybe right next to it. And then you'll exhale, bend and fold, taking your head to your shin for 5 breaths. Inhale, lift the chest, gaze at the nose. Exhale there. Inhale, stand up, nice and slow. You can put a slight bend in the knee if you need to. And then exhale, Samasthiti, feet together. Okay, so taking the left foot up. Again, you can take the variation with the tree pose or just holding here, that's fine. Or reaching the hand behind the back for the big toe. Taking an inhale. And then exhale, bending and folding. Five breaths here. Inhale, straighten the arm, lengthen out. Exhale there. Inhale, slowly standing up, bending the knee if you need to. And then exhale, Samasthiti. Good. So Samasthiti at the front of the mat. And we'll do a vinyasa to get to our next posture. Inhale, reach the arms up, look up. Exhale, bend and fold forward. Inhale, lift the chest. Exhale, step or jump back into Chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. And then right away, we'll jump to Utkatasana. Bend the knees, feet together, 5 breaths. Holding here for 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Exhale, fold forward. And so on your inhale, you're going to just lift the heels up, and then exhale, step or jump back into Chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. And spinning your left heel down, step the right foot forward. Virabhadrasana A, warrior 1, on the right side. So bending the knee, looking up toward your thumbs, relaxing your shoulders down, front knee over the front ankle. You're trying to bring your left hip forward. 3 more here. 3. Don't lose your gaze at your thumbs. 2. And 1. Inhale, straighten out your front leg. Keep looking at your hands. Rotate the back foot in, front foot forward. Exhale, we'll do this on the left side. 1. So try to press the pinky toe edge of your foot, of your back foot into the mat. 2. 3. 4. 5. Opening the arms for Virabhadrasana B. Spreading your feet just a little bit. This time the hips can open to the side. Front knee over your front ankle. Try not to drop this back arm down. It's in line with the front arm. Looking over your front middle finger for 5. 4. 3. 2. 1. Inhale, straighten out your left leg. Pivot your left toes in, right toes forward. Bend the front knee, look over the hand for 1. 2. 3. 4. And 5. Cartwheel your hands to the ground. Step the right foot back. Lower for Chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. And so now we'll start with our seated postures. So looking forward, bend the knees. You can walk, or if you want to take a hop to a seat. Okay, we'll go over through the jump throughs in a different video. But for today, you can just step or hop onto the bum and then straighten your legs forward for Dandasana. So 5 breaths here, flexing the feet. Maybe your heels can even lift. Strong straight arms next to the side. And then finding your throat lock here. So Jalandhara Bandha. So here we can have, real quick, talk about Mahabandha. So really engaging all 3 of your bandhas. So lifting up in your pelvic floor. So squeezing the pelvis muscles, engaging your belly muscles, and then really breathing deep by locking your throat here. So down toward the nose is your gaze. One more breath. Let's find Paschimottanasana, reaching forward for your big toes. If you need to bend the knees here, you can bend the knees and then eventually straighten the legs out. Okay, but if not, straighten the legs. First 2 fingers, grab the big toes. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, lift the belly up, fold forward. So, if you can look forward toward the feet, that's great. If you need to relax the head down, that's fine too. We're going to take 5 breaths here. Try to keep the elbows lifted. Relaxing the shoulders. Inhale, straighten the arms, head lifts. On the next one, you can either take the hands onto the feet this way, or if you want to go a little bit further, we can take the last variation, reaching for your wrist. Take one more breath in, and then exhale, bend and fold. 5 breaths. Inhale, straighten the arms, lift up. Exhale, release the hands down next to the side. Good. Now hug your knees into your chest, cross your ankles. See if you can lift the bum up first. Good. If you need to keep the feet down to lift up, you can do that. And then from there, roll over the ankles, step or jump back, and lower for Chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Good. Look forward, bend the knees. You can step or you can jump, maybe just cross the ankles here, sitting on your bum. Straightening the legs forward. Take Purvottanasana, hands come behind the back, pointing the toes down. If you need to bend the knees here, you can do that. That's fine for this class. Pointing the toes down, making sure that your hands are underneath your shoulders back here, lifting your belly up, dropping the head back, and holding for 5. If you're advanced with your drishtis, you can look up toward your 3rd eye. Two more. Last one. And then exhale, slowly coming down. And again, crossing the ankles, lifting up. Or maybe you can just lift the bum. Roll over your ankles, step or jump back, and lower for Chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. And again, look forward, bend your knees, step or jump onto a seat. And then we'll lay on our backs. Okay, so laying on your backs, we're just gonna take a little modified Urdhva Dhanurasana. So lifting your belly up to the sky. Interlace the fingers underneath your back and walk your shoulders blades nice and close to towards one another. Pushing your feet into the ground, lifting up here. And then exhale, coming back down. If that felt good for you and you want to take that again, you can take that again. Okay, typically we do 3 Urdhva Dhanurasana postures, but because this is just a beginner class, what we're going to do is maybe just take 1 or 2, or you can take this bridge pose variation again. Okay, if you feel like coming all the way up, bend your elbows, pressing your hands into the mat. You can first lift the hips, and then see if you can press the top of the head onto the ground. Reset up your hands, make sure that your elbows are coming in toward one another and they're right over the wrists. And then as you inhale, push your feet into the ground, toes facing forward. Try not to let the heels come in, toes facing forward. And then slowly lifting up for Urdhva Dhanurasana. We'll hold here for 5. And then either coming all the way down, or maybe you have it in you to tap your head down, walk your hands in closer, lift back up. One more time for 5 breaths. And then on the last breath, tuck the chin into the chest, bend your elbows, come all the way down. And relaxing here. Hug your knees into your chest. Take a couple breaths. And then we're just going to end with a beginner inversion, so straightening the legs up. You can do this against the wall if you want to do legs up the wall. And then just relaxing the hands next to the side. We're just going to hold this here for about 10 breaths. Okay, so eventually we'll do a shoulder stand variation here. But again, if you're just starting out with your Ashtanga practice, you don't have to worry about those inversions just yet. And then slowly bend your knees. You can hug them into the chest again. And then however you want to get up, we're just going to sit up. And then find a comfortable position here. So I'll just face you guys for this. So if you have a full lotus in your practice, you can come into your full lotus. If not, just sitting maybe in half lotus or in a comfortable position. Taking your hands behind the back. Eventually you'll do Baddha Padmasana, and then exhale, just taking your head down, bowing down for 10 breaths. So just slowing your breath down. Inhale, come up, and then exhale. We'll just take 10 breaths, straighten the arms, first 2 fingers together, lifting the chest, looking down toward your nose. If it helps you to concentrate, close the eyes. So we'll find Ujjayi breath here, Ujjayi pranayama, in through the nose, constricting the throat, exhale through the nose. Good. And then from there, we'll take one more vinyasa. So rolling over the ankles. If you're tired and you want to take the knees down, that's great. Inhaling for upward facing dog or cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. And then looking forward, bending the knees, stepping or jumping, lifting the head. Exhale, forward fold. And inhale, stand up. We'll take the closing mantra to seal in the practice. Inhale for Om. Om. Swasti prajabhyaha paripalyantam nyayena margena mahim mahishaha ko brahmanabhyaha shubhamastu nityam loka samasta sukhino bhavantu. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Ekam inhale, reach the arms up. Doi exhale, bend and fold. Trini inhale, lengthen out. Chaturanga exhale, step or jump. Chaturanga, last one. Pancha inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Good, jump to a seat or just sit down. And then lie on your back for your final resting pose. Trying to stay in a rest for about 10 minutes, closing the eyes, and then just relaxing, finishing your practice here.